Like, you got a bunch of people who are like self-proclaimed socialists soy-facing over a dress at like a rich people's gala saying tax the rich on it. Like, give me a break. It's a really good example of capitalist realism. Not that anyone should care about it. No one should care about it. This sort of performative activism takes place everywhere all the fucking time. It's nothing new. Just like the Twitter girl boss is doing it now, so people have to talk about it. But it's absolutely capitalist realism. Like, it's like someone who's like supposedly a socialist, or at least her followers will tell you that. And the best that she can do is show up to a fucking a gala in like a designer dress that says tax the rich on it, aka a reformist demand, like a nicer, a more human capitalism. That is what capitalist realism is. People who are held up as like representatives of socialism can't actually advocate for socialism themselves. They can't even imagine a world beyond capitalism if they would even want to. And the people okay, I'm not going to say defend her, because there's not anything to defend her from. It's normal. It's basic sort of performative activism shit. She's not doing anything special and nothing particularly objectionable either. It's just, it's not a socialist demand. She's not a socialist. And it's just weird to see socialists like going to bat defending her about it. Like they're not going to bat defending her about it because like the backlash is stupid. They're going to bat defending her because like they legitimately believe that she's making like some sort of big transformative demand. And if you legitimately believe that, then you're probably not a socialist, because you clearly can't think beyond reforming capitalism. And not just reforming capitalism, but reforming capitalism to a stage that it was already at. 50, 60, 70 years ago, the US had like, what, a 90% tax, top income tax rate? And now it's like, I think we should go back to that. And everyone's like, yes, queen! Finally, a socialist political representative. Finally! It's not what it is. Like, it's not something to get mad at, but it's not something to like fucking soy face over and spend a lot of energy defending against the evil Twitter Nazbols, as they call them, who are getting angry about it either. Soy latte. This is me, right? Like, I'm here with my soy latte, telling you that this woman who said tax the rich isn't a real socialist while I drink a soy latte. Who's the fake socialist here? Is it me or her? One thing that I saw a couple of weeks ago, let me see if I can, not like a couple of weeks ago, like last week maybe. Some guy on like Vorsh's subreddit quoted Mark Fisher in like a genuinely offensive way to defend the dress. And like, it just is a completely ridiculous misreading of Mark Fisher. Here it is. And I have to like, now this is like what you shouldn't do with your life, folks. You should not spend your life complaining about posts on Vorsh's subreddit, okay? This is when you're going off the deep end. Just in the same way that you shouldn't defend AOC from people who hate her on Twitter as if like you think she's some sort of real revolutionary socialist. You also shouldn't go over like random posts on Reddit, on Vorsh's subreddit, on your stream, okay? Take it from me. Don't do this. I'm doing it anyway because I'm going to make money from it, because this is going to artificially increase the length of the stream clip that I get out of talking about this, and it's going to get it past the 8-minute mark, and that means that I can put extra ads on it. I'm honest with you, at least. So this guy's like, no, you can't do activism like this. Capitalist realism has so captured public thought that the idea of anti-capitalism no longer acts as an antithesis to capitalism. Instead, it is deployed as a means for reinforcing capitalism. This is done through media, which aims to provide a safe means of consuming anti-capitalist ideas without actually challenging the system. For one, this doesn't even apply here, because tax the rich isn't an anti-capitalist idea. Kind of weird there. Like, did you read the text that you even put there? Like, even your straw man doesn't make sense. And then it's like, Chad AOC, tax the rich. And then there's like a Mark Fisher, like in like fucking JPEG artifacted text. My friend, why must you do this? AOC is the one actively engaging in what I call emancipatory politics. What? Tax the rich is emancipatory politics? Have you read Mark Fisher? Anything that he's ever written, like even a blog post? You think that Mark Fisher thinks that tax the rich is emancipatory politics? Like, this explicitly fits into what Mark Fisher defined as capitalist realism, right? Like even the, how do you say dirigentes, the fucking like thought, or the supposed thought leaders, or people who are at least propped up as sort of thought leaders of the left movement in the US, like, that they're not calling for worker control of anything, right? They're not calling for decommodification of the economy. They're calling for higher taxes, a return to a capitalism that already existed 30 or 40 years ago. That is capitalist realism. When that's what your dirigents are asking for, that's capitalist realism. If anything, you are the one that doesn't challenge the system. She's not challenging the system. Tax the rich isn't challenging the system. The system is going to be fine whether the rich are taxed or not. She's not challenging capitalism by asking for higher taxes. While she's advocating for policy, you're posting bullshit on Twitter. You're the one engaging in safe anti-capitalism. I don't think Mark Fisher really said anything about safe anti-capitalism. He was more concerned with, sort of commodified anti-capitalism, capitalism being used more as sort of like a lifestylist sort of thing. I don't think he would complain about people talking about how they're against capitalism while not having the power to really do anything about it. It's much more like people with power using anti-capitalism. This isn't even an example of anti-capitalism, by the way. Using anti-capitalism as like a way to sell shit. Like repackaging these sorts of anti-capitalist ideas or sanitizing them in order to uphold the present system. And if anything, a supposedly like far left socialist politician, like not being able to advocate for much more than tax the rich, even if she wanted to. If she even does want to, I don't think she does. I don't think she's ever really talked about anything that I would define as socialism and that most people would define as socialism. Like, that is capitalist realism. That's a great example of it. Like, it's one thing to say that, like, the backlash against her is overblown and stupid. Sure, I agree. It's another thing to, like, appropriate fucking a dead man and just straight up put words in his mouth and just completely bastardize the concepts that he described. I really don't think Mark Fisher would view her actions as sufficiently anti-capitalist, correct? But he wouldn't view them as anti-capitalist at all because they're not. A more humane capitalism, advocating for social democracy, it's still capitalism. She's made great strides to push discourse left. I mean, this is why the word left is so fucking worthless. Like, it's about pushing discourse left. I mean, for me, leftism is anti-capitalism. It's not like to the left of conservatism. It's just like a way that you can like frame two pretty diametrically opposed things as being the same, like social democracy and socialism, right? So she's pushing discourse towards social democracy. She's not pushing it towards socialism, not even the slightest. The term, like the vague term left, is basically a way for capitalists to like associate themselves with the like trendy label of the left, which again is capitalist realism. Like they want to associate themselves with the label of this sort of like cultural signifiers of the left without actually adopting the anti-capitalism part. I can't even call this a misreading. It's so egregious. Like, it's not a misreading. It's a purposeful misrepresentation. I refuse to believe that someone can be so dumb and read Mark Fisher and thinks that this applies. Anyway, yeah, that's my take on the dress. There's not much of a reason to get mad at it. It's social democratic politicians spreading social democratic ideas. Nothing weird about that. Part that's weird about it is like the soy-facing Twitter socialists and online socialists and stuff who get legitimately angry at the fact that people are saying that she's not challenging the system, that she's not challenging capitalism. She's not. Sure, she's going against the interest of some capitalists by saying tax the rich, but capitalism as a system, the US state as a system is not meaningfully challenged by increasing taxes. There you go. That's the take. Soy latte. Eat fresh.